French President Emmanuel Macron held a government crisis meeting today after protesters clashed with law enforcement again overnight. The recent unrest was sparked by the fatal police shooting of a 17-year-old boy during a traffic stop on Tuesday. 150 people have been arrested in the protests. CBS News correspondent Elaine Cobbe is following this for us from Paris. Elaine, it's good to see you. So let's talk a little bit about what sparked this whole thing. What can you tell us about the police shooting that sparked last night's violence?
Good morning, Anne-Marie. Well, the police chief in Nanterre, the Paris suburb where the incident occurred, gave a press conference earlier today. So he gave us more details of what happened Tuesday morning from the interviews they've had with the police officer involved and with one of the passengers in the car, and also from looking at all the video, the amateur video that's out there on social media. So he said that two motorbike police noted the Mercedes that had a Polish license plate. It was driving around Nanterre and it was speeding. So the police decided, because the car was speeding and the driver looked very young, so they flagged it down to do a normal traffic check. They tried to flag him down at a red light, but the driver kept going, drove right through that red light. The police gave chase and they kept in touch with the control at all times, according to the police chief. So when they finally stopped him, two of them, the two motorbike police, were on the left-hand side of the vehicle, speaking to the driver, who did stop at that point, and then as he is there, the driver suddenly restarted the engine and sped off, and at that point a shot is heard on the amateur video that the police have been examining, and even though firefighters came and tried to revive the young man, he was dead. He's known to police already for not stopping at traffic stops. In fact, he was picked up by police just last week and was due to be in court in September. And they did a search of the vehicle and they found no weapons. But it is something that has angered a lot of people in that community, and that's why we've had the protests over 2 nights now.
And, you know, when I saw what was happening there, I thought, I feel like we've covered something very similar before happening in the suburbs of Paris in particular. What is, you know, the relationship between, you know, the residents of the suburb of Paris, many of them immigrants, and police? Is there an issue with the use of excessive force?
There's a bit of an issue more with the view of police relations with people in some of the suburbs where there's a high immigrant or previously immigrant community and their children. And also there is very high unemployment in many of them. Now, Nanterre is not an obvious one in that it's a mix. It's a very old town that has a long established population. It's a university town, but it also has a lot of housing projects, and a lot of the population were originally North African, and now their children as well. So there's frequently tension, and there are a lot of accusations that the police don't respect them enough, don't pay attention, and that they are far more likely to stop anyone of North African or African descent. And people will see that in the metros when there's a normal control as well. It is frequently the way, and there are a lot of accusations of racism in the police, and there are quite a few politicians now calling for better training for police officers who carry arms. Now, police involved deaths in France are fairly rare, but they have been climbing recently. 37 last year, up from 32 the year before, and in fact that's double the number from 2017.
I know we're close to the numbers that we see in the U.S., but still very concerning nonetheless. Elaine, thank you very much.